2021-22 from among all Indian schools in Oman are felicitated by the ICAI Muscat chapter. The first 3 positions are honored with mementos, certificates, and cash prizes. Former students of Indian schools who have cleared CA are also being felicitated on this occasion. We have with us well-qualified resource persons to speak about the prospects of choosing CA as a career. This program also provides a platform for the parents and aspiring students to clarify their doubts on pursuing the course. The viewers are requested to post their queries in the chat box. The professionals present with us today will be answering the questions. It's with great humility and respect we express our heartfelt gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq and His Majesty's government for the generous and benevolent support to the Indian community in the Sultanate. May God grant His Majesty long life and our host country perpetual prosperity and peace. We also thank the Ministry of Education for the support and guidance provided to the Indian schools in Oman. On behalf of the Indian school fraternity, we thank ICAI Muscat chapter for organizing this event. We have CA Sajid Surendran, Chairman, ICAI Muscat chapter, to deliver the welcome address. CA Sajid Surendran is in the managing committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Muscat chapter, for the last 5 years. And presently, he is the chairperson of the Muscat chapter of ICAI. He is also the treasurer of Indian School Bowsher since 2019. He is the managing partner of FinPro Consultancy, providing consultancy services in the Sultanate of Oman for the last 9 years. May I request CA Sajid Surendran to welcome the audience. Sir, please.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. Chief guest for this evening, Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Hafi, Member of Board of Directors, Oman Chamber of Commerce, and Head of Energy and Mining Committee. Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools. Resource Person CA Dayaniva Sharmaji, Vice Chairman, ICA Board of Studies. CA Vandana D. Nagpal, Academic Director, ICA Board of Studies. Mr. PTK Shamir, Vice Chairman, Board of Studies, Board of Directors, Indian Schools Oman. Ms. Ashwini Sarvikar, Finance Director, Board of Directors, Indian School Oman. Mr. Vinova MB, Senior Principal and Education Advisor, President of the school, Mr. Anil Kumar A, and the other esteemed members of the School Managing Committee, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Principal, Indian School Mulanda, Principal, staff, parents, students of various Indian schools in Oman. It's my pleasure as a chairperson of Muscat chapter of ICA to invite each one of you to this evening event to felicitate commerce toppers and to give an insight on CA as a profession. ICA Muscat chapter is established in 2008 with the objective of providing continuous education to its members. And since then, we have been taking all the opportunities to support the local community and the students fraternity to provide education in the field of finance, accounts, and audit. One of the major objectives in our MOU with the CBFS, which is our sponsor locally in Oman, is to support the local community. ICA Muscat chapter has been into this initiative since 2008. Recently, with the Chamber of Commerce of Oman, we have been planning an event to train the CFOs of Oman, Omani CFOs in Oman. With Indian School Board, we have initiated this particular program to felicitate commerce toppers and fresh CAs in Oman. The first event was in 2008, which was held at, I believe, in Wadi Kabir school. Since then, this program has been well taken by the Indian school community, Indian school board, Indian school community, students, and even by the members of the chapter. This has given us a motivation to continue this event for the sake of, for the interest of the community, professional community, and the students fraternity. I'm sure educational system is being passing through a lot of changes. Even the CA curriculum also is not an exception. It is very, very important to get an insight on CA curriculum to plan your career, which I'm sure it will help all the students of Indian school students in Oman. I use this opportunity to thank CA Dayanivas ji and CA Vandana ji for taking their time to explain, to give details about our great course, CA course, which will definitely help our students. Also, I take this opportunity to thank all the organizers of this event, which is going to be a great event, I'm sure. Thank you so much once again. Over to the MC.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome extended.
Thank you.
Great leaders not only inspire and motivate others, but also teach people the skills they need to achieve the goals of a team. We are indeed fortunate to have an erudite personality, Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam, amidst us. Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam is an innovative educational leader with more than 25 years of experience in teaching, administration, and research. He has won many accolades as a published researcher and writer and has been well acclaimed for his articles on science and technology. He has successfully implemented several process automation and digital transformation initiatives. The introduction of ISO VLE and Samriddhi Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching were the most promising initiatives of Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam, providing the Indian schooling system with its first virtual learning environment by developing a portal which can be used for conducting training programs and workshops. It's my privilege to invite Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam for the presidential address.
Thank you. Chief guest for this evening, Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Harthi, member of the Board of Directors, Oman Chamber of Commerce, and Head of Energy and Mining Committee. Resource persons, CA Dayanivas Sharma, Vice Chairman, ICAI Board of Studies, and CA Vandana D. Nagpal, Academic Director, ICAI Board of Studies, CA Sajeev Surendran, Chairman of the ICAI Muscat Chapter, Mr. PTK Shamir, Vice Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools, Oman, Mrs. Ashwini Saurikar, Finance Director, Board of Directors, Indian Schools, Oman, Mr. Vinoba MP, Senior Principal and Educational Advisor, President Mr. Anil Kumar, and other esteemed members of the School Management Committee, Mr. Parveen Kumar, Principal, Indian School, Mulada, principals of other Indian schools, staff, parents, and students of various Indian schools in Oman. A very good evening. At the very outset, I place on records our profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq for his benevolence and generosity towards the Indian diaspora in Oman, and we gratefully acknowledge the encouraging support by the Ministry of Education in all our educational endeavors. We are gathered here to celebrate the achievement of students who, through their persevering effort, have won personal distinction as well as accolades for their alma mater and their parents. The students include the toppers in commerce stream from among all Indian schools in Oman for the class 12 CBSE examination held in academic year 2021-2022, and the Indian school alumni who passed CA final examination in the recent past. Congratulations to you on your remarkable achievements. Your achievement shows all others, especially students who are presently in class 12, that beginning well is good and important, but greater still is the art of finishing well. It is very important to have the determination to finish well and finish strong in life. It is this burning desire that will bring you success in the end, as has been shown by these brilliant students who are being felicitated this evening. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, I would like to congratulate you on your grit and determination that brought you success. Famous Indian business entrepreneur Ratan Tata has made a statement that I need MBAs for running my business, but chartered accountants to teach them how to run the business. This shows the significant and indispensable role played by the chartered accountants in the nation building. The role played by ICAI Muscat chapter in propagating and promoting CA as a career is praiseworthy. The talks given as a part of this program by experienced and competent CA professionals are very informative, and they throw light on the general guidelines that all CA aspirants should know. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, I thank Chairman CA Sajeev Surendran and other board members of ICAI Muscat chapter for patronizing this event and motivating our students to excel in their life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom and motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are profusely elated to introduce the chief guest of the day, Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Harthi. Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Harthi is a leading finance professional and a successful business, currently member of Board of Directors of Oman Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Abdullah is also leading the Energy and Mining Committee of Oman Chamber of Commerce. He has been holding directorship and been member of board committee of many leading organizations in the Sultanate of Oman, including but not limited to Omantel, Majan College, Oman Fiber Optics, Oman Mobile, and Oman National Dairy Products. He had been holding key positions in various banks in Oman in varying capacities. He possesses a rich blend of entrepreneurship, business network, and financial acumen. With immense pleasure, let me welcome Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Hati to this function. And may we request you, sir, to address the viewers.
Hi, everyone. Chairman of Muscat chapter of ICAI, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, Chairman, Board of Studies, all other guests, students, and parents. Thank you for inviting me as chief guest for the program organized by ICAI Muscat chapter jointly with the Indian School Board to facilitate top students in Commerce 12th exam. It is highly applicable such kind of initiatives from the chapter to motivate and make awareness to the students about Indian Charter Accountancy course. I hope this event will bring a lot of information to the students and parents to know about the CA course. I congratulate all who have organized this event for students in Oman. I understand ICAI chapter is making a lot of such initiatives for the benefit of the local community as well. Oman Chamber of Commerce, jointly with ICAI, is conducting Omani CFO program for the benefit of Omani potential CFOs. Finally, I wish you all the success to the students in your studies, and thank you all for the opportunity to meet a lot of students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are honored with your presence and your valuable words. CA Ashwini Saurikar is the Finance Director of the Indian School Board. Ma'am Ashwini has held board positions in various professional groups in Oman. She was one of the board of ISACA Muscat, IIA Oman, and ICAI Muscat chapter, where she served as the chairperson in 2019-20. Ma'am is an audit and risk professional with an overall 25 plus years of work experience. We consider it a great honor to welcome CA Ashwini Saurikar for the felicitation address.
Respected Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Hati, today's Honorable Chief Guest, CA Dayaniwas Sharma, Vice Chairman ICAI Board of Studies, and CA Vandana Nagpal, Director Board of Studies ICAI, Indian Schools in Oman Board Chairman Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, and Vice Chairman and my co-DIC of the Indian School Muladda, Mr. Shamir, all of the members from the Board and the Board Office of Indian Schools in Oman, ICAI Muscat Chapter Chairman C.A. Sajeev Surendran and the other Managing Committee members and representatives of the Muscat Chapter, SMC President Mr. Anil Kumar, SMC members, Principal Mr. Praveen Kumar of the Indian School Muladda, all the school staff and school students across the Indian schools in Oman, and most importantly, the Class 12 Commerce Stream topper students who are being felicitated today, as well as our past students of the Indian schools in Oman who have become qualified chartered accountants. A warm good evening to all of you. Well, warm not because it started being really warm in Oman, but warm because there's a special warmth coming out from me to all of take this opportunity and share one thought with you. When I plunged into doing the chartered accountancy back in 1994, I was not quite sure of what to expect and what it fathoms and what it really entails. And I'm not really talking about cracking the examination, because yes, people do talk a lot about the examinations. But what I really want to tell you is about the role that you would play in the society as a chartered accountant, the responsibility you shoulder due to the trust and respect that is bestowed on this profession. Believe me, friends, CA is a brand. That brand will give you recognition. And Indian CA is a brand which will give you recognition anywhere in the world. And it is bound to take you places. It will enable you to add value to the company that you work for, to the society that you are part of, and to the economy and the country that you work in, thus making you a part of nation building. For those who have cleared their CA, a great welcome to you all to join this extremely prestigious profession. And those who are aspiring as well as it will open the doors for you to reach out to the CA professionals and take further guidance from them even in the coming future. Trust me, you have a wonderful lineup for today. A chief guest, Dr. Alharthi from Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OCCI. Keynote address from Dayanivas ji, talking about accounting and commerce, a universal language. And Vandana ji giving you inputs on the features of the CA proposed scheme of education and training. I'm so glad that the Indian School Muladha, where I am the DIC, this school is hosting today's event under the aegis of the Board of Indian Schools in Oman. For all those who are being felicitated today, hearty congratulations to you. And for those who wish to know more about the CA profession, I wish you a very happy knowledge-gaining session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It has been a pleasure listening to your motivating words. Dear viewers, we remind you to post your questions in the comment box. The professionals present with us will be clarifying your doubts. The starting point of all achievement is desire. To instill the flame of desire, to aspire for CA course, we have with us CA Dayanivas Sharma. CA Dayanivas Sharma is the Vice Chairman of the ICAI Board of Studies, New Delhi. He was recognized as Young India Visionary by IMG Innovative Media Group in the Hall of UAE. He played a pivotal role in the success of self-service portal, UDIN, finance and tax literacy, developing world's first forensic standards, revising and mandating the peer review process, first every skilling training on tax and financial reporting to IAS officers at COE Hyderabad, developing the concept of NESCA, National Education Summit for Commerce and Accountancy, and most importantly, as Chairman, Board of Studies, Academic, driving the new education and training policy, CRET 22, a committee on review of education and training and obtaining historical 25,000 plus feedbacks from the members and students. I'm glad to cordially welcome CA Dayanivas Sharma for the keynote address and to give an insight into accounting and commerce, a universal language. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, Madam, for giving a brief introduction. And really, it's a pleasure to interact with all you people from India, city Hyderabad, and getting connected to all the learned students who have really done extremely well. It is really a pleasure. First of all, let me wish Mr. Abdullah, thank you very much for being with us today. I have been talking, I'm going to talk on accounting and commerce, a universal language. And fortunately, you are the board of member of Chamber of Commerce. And I'm today going to talk about the differentiation between the commerce and accounting and how they are interlinked. But yes, having you is a pleasure, undoubtedly. Thank you very much for sharing screen with me and all the people around. It's always a pleasure. I have visited once Oman, and I'd love to come back again to have a good treat again back there. And the entire team of Indian school, let me congratulate you to take this effective, way forward of propagating the institute and the course of the chartered accountants, which is one of the most important part in the global accounting, sphere. Uh, why I say this is because of only one reason. Though people say this is the second largest accounting body, but as per me, it is the world's first and the largest accounting body, which has close to 400,000 members and close to 850,000 students who are actively engaged with ICI activities. To all the directors of Indian School, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And also the Muscat chapter, thank you very much, Sajeev, for giving this opportunity again to come interact with you all people again. It's indeed a pleasure to be, connected with you all people who are raising the flag of ICI and the CA profession across the globe. You all are the brand ambassadors who are actually operating and ensuring that the accounting world which is there, I'll go back to mythology today, sometime to discuss with, because the students are there and they need to understand the importance of the entire ecosystem. Also the principal Mr. Praveen Kumar, thank you very much for giving an opportunity to be associated with your school in capacity of delivering this lecture. And there, I think, are a couple of young boys and girls who have actually made it possible by securing the highest marks, or might be, the marks which are dreamt by their parents. I wish you all a lot of blessings, because we all children are there because of the existence of our parents. And that makes whole lot of difference. When we pass, the tears of our parents actually make us feel so cozy that we all ensure that we get all the success for them. So I wish you all the great success. And I can only start with one thing, Praveen sir, because you are the principal there. I am a student who got 52% marks only in my graduation, and I could actually become a chartered accountant, and more importantly, a council member of this institute, which is actually a privilege. And I would like to share one more thing, which I would like to confess, that I undoubtedly thought that I cannot become a chartered accountant. But what I realized in the commerce and accounting world is the most important part is the common sense, which is very important. And this is something which keeps us grounded always in a true sense. Why I tell you this is, whether it is a child who is, counting his chocolates, or a wife or a mother at home who is ensuring that the budgets are being rightly mapped with the earnings of the family, or a person who is earning for the family, who is a male or a female, whoever is actually doing their job, they are all in the commerce and accounting. What is the difference between accounting and commerce is something which we need to think about. Why I tell it is a universal language. In whatever language you want to communicate, one is one, undoubtedly. Debit is debit, credit is credit, income is income, expenditure is expenditure, and asset is an asset, and a liability is a liability. How much ever we try to do it. Why I am telling you all these things, you are seniors who are there, but the students who are listening to the discussion, the only intention which I am putting forward is, this is the most accepted language since our birth. We know what we want and how we know how to achieve. This accounting language, which is a universal, is very simple. in any sense, whether you are in India, whether you are in Oman, whether you are in the United States of America, whether you are in Europe or any part of the world. All these four, income, expenditure, liability, and asset, are the four factors which are ultimately going to drive the entire ecosystem. No second thought about it. No second thought about it, right? Now, what happens once you complete your 11th or 12th standard under CBSE? And Madam Vandana is going to talk about what the approach we need to follow. But the most important part is most of the students are thinking that engineering is one thing because of artificial intelligence. There's a buzzword which has been talked about, right? Robotic process automation, people are talking about, right? Whether you talk about cloud computing, whether you talk about data analytics, what is it coming out of? It's only the debit and credit which I am talking about. What is data? Data is a number. It cannot be a sentence or a language, technically, if you see. Today, all the businesses which are run, which is nothing but commerce. Commerce is business, business is commerce, technically, if you talk about. The commerce is a business, the activity which is being done to run and generate profit. How do you generate profit? It's very simple. By accounting of my transaction. That means whatever I have transacted during this period, I need to show with certain numbers in the financial statements which determine my profitability at the end of the day. And this profitability, the spending, the earning is ultimately defined as a GDP, what we call, of a nation, of the world, of whatever you talk about. So technically, when we look at the role of a chartered accountant, the role of a chartered accountant is nothing but he is actually defining the GDP of a country, because without us, the numbers cannot be there. Till the time this universe is there, till that time numbers are going to be there. Till the time numbers are there, chartered accountants are going to be there. It's as simple as that. So when you want to design or you want to think about what should be your future, I'll give you one bad statistics. I'll give you the good statistics. Let me start with the bad statistics. Most of the people in the world are getting away from the accounting profession, auditing profession, because they think that there is nothing, magical about it. But the magic is there in that. And you see Europe, you see US, you see slowly in India and other parts of the world, most of the students are getting towards the technology learning, but a lot of people are getting away from accounts and commerce. This is the reality. I don't know what is the problem. But the fact is, without accountants, do you think that nations and organizations can run? The answer is big no. And certain countries, I don't want to name them, where the chartered accountancy firms are actually getting closed because they are not good number of students coming forward. Most of the people are thinking technology, because I talk only accounting and audit and commerce. I'm just putting it before you. Everyone thinks that becoming an engineer is something very important. In robotic process automation, right, there are 3 letters which are there where you talk about bots, you talk about robots, right? What is it? Robotic process automation. And robotic and automation are 2 things which are done by an engineer. But the processes are defined by chartered accountants. Please understand this. Without a right process, you are exposed to different kind of risk. When you talk about a cyber security, there also the threat is with regards to what cyber attack is going to come and what kind of data which I'm going to lose. And what is the data again? It's accounting numbers which are there again. Or might be some or other form of financial information which is available today on the computers. No business runs on the sentences or the languages or paragraphs, right? Every business runs on numbers only. And till the time numbers are there, chartered accountants are there. There is an evolution which has taken place in last couple of years. Now ICI is almost 75 years old. 1st July, we are getting into 75th year. And today, 850,000 students who are actively pursuing are actually doing an enormous job for the betterment of the nation in a true sense. Please understand, you guys who have completed your 11th and 12th, get into the CA course because only for one reason. This ICI was started with 1,600 members only, right? Today we have 176 branches in the country and 77 international offices across the globe in 43 or 44 countries. And proudly, I can tell you one thing, CA course is one. When you go to the grind, the advantage is you are an acceptable product across the globe. This is a fact again, because the kind of fundamental learning which we are teaching in the CA course is something which we need to really catch up. People ask, if the financial statement should tally. Today, thinking that technology is taking over, the point is very simple. Technology is taking over, but the principles are same. Till the time you are not catching your basics, trust me, no system can give you a right information. Tell me one thing, sir. Can I book an expenditure instead of capitalizing as an asset? Asset is an asset. It is not an expenditure. My accounting treatment, which is there across the world, is same. The principles of accounting are same. Only thing, the reporting requirement which are there are different. So dear students, what I want to tell you is, going forward, the profession is going to go in a high demand, which is very important. You please understand. When you talk about blockchain, what is blockchain? In a simple term, you heard blockchain, right? Praveen sir, you might have also heard. Matthew sir, you might have also heard. And all the people who are sitting here, as a concept, blockchain is being heard by everyone, right? So what is blockchain actually going to give us? What is the outcome of blockchain? There are two things. One, transparency in reporting of financial transactions. Number two is the governance, which is at its peak. Because if I link transactions in blockchain, sometime later I'll come and talk about how blockchain works. But the way the transactions are getting recorded, I should know where the transaction is getting the birth from and where the transaction is going to end in the financial statement, and what will be the usability of that is something which is very important, which students have to really understand. I think all the teachers who are attending today, I personally request that the biggest challenge which we are finding in the entire process is the fundamental of accountings are not being taught in the right manner. In this process, what we have done is we actually called for National NESCA, National Education Summit for Commerce and Accountancy, and 220 universities in the country have actually joined us to understand what we can give them. Because this concept which was there was to design not only from a theoretical process, but skilling is something which is very important. Any education you do, any education you go through, degrees are not sufficient, my dear friends. Degrees are not sufficient. You should be a sellable product in the market. That means you should have a right skill. If you don't have right skill, you are not going to be recognized. Might be the initial payback will be good after getting a rank. But do you have that ability or capability to ensure that the transactions are being put in a right direction, or anything which is, whichever you are going to do, whether it is doctorate, whether it is your LLD, whether you talk about chartered accountancy, the fundamental thing is understanding the subject and applying the subject. And the application is nothing but skilling in the process. Now, there are a lot of sayings which I would like to read it for you people, which you'll appreciate, because you are going to get into your graduations or might be your 11th or 12th. There's something very beautiful I would like to say, which I get influenced every time with. Practice like you have never won. Practice like you have never won. Perform like you have never lost. If you want to be successful in your career, if you want to be successful in your education, if you have to be successful in your employment, or entrepreneurship, one thing you need to remember is learn the best possible way as if you are going to forget tomorrow and perform as if there is no better master than you in the entire process. I was watching the movie called Rocketry the other day. It is very interesting. I don't know how many of you noted in that particular thing. Madhavan comes and tells his professor that, sir, the statement which you have given is not right and it is a wrong fact which has been communicated. And you are teaching the same thing. And the teacher comes and fires the student. And then he writes a letter to the person who authored the book. And after a couple of days, apology letter comes from the author saying that it was a mistake which was being wrongly printed. That is what is needed from a student today. Across the globe, the problem is we are just learning on the top. We actually have to get into the depth. When you understand the depth, whatever you do, nothing is going to stop. I'll tell you one simple fact. One of my very close friends who could not qualify his chartered accountancy, but today the kind of salary he draws, I don't earn that much even after qualifying, because he's used his brain in such effective manner that you and I can't imagine. Let me just give you one more example. You know who is the youngest chartered accountant in the world? You know who is the youngest chartered accountant in the ICI at least? The youngest chartered accountant was at the age of 19. He is a youngest double Guinness Book of World Record holder. He is the youngest person to complete 2 courses, not 1, 2 courses, right? Professional courses. And the most important part is he is from my city. So I'll request that gentleman, Nischal is his name. Mr. Nischal is the young boy who's actually qualified and ensured and gave a lesson to all the people at large. What I want to tell you is these all people, though he has completed many other degrees, but today his important degree, which is always useful for his entrepreneurship, is unbelievingly chartered accountancy course. Because this gives you an 360-degree view of all the businesses you audit. Which profession gives you tell me, sir? A chartered accountant during his articleship period, he goes and attends different clients, which are multinationals, large firm businesses, multinational businesses, which actually the student goes and sits there and understand the best practices. And you are finding flaws and mistakes from the best practices of the world. If you are auditing a company like, Unilever, just imagine, you are auditing a company like Microsoft, you are auditing a company like Amazon, and you are trying to find out where there can be an error. You are challenging the best of the world. Which profession gives you that kind of challenge? So what I'm trying to tell you all people is, anywhere you are in world, the fundamental of accounting is in our DNAs. We are not different. Any person you take from the world, they are the same set of people with the same desires and same knowledge. But the person who comes out exclusively is that person who touches the ground realities, who understands the fundamentals, and he applies his common sense. Chartered accountancy course is something which is going to be giving you a unique experience. And proudly, let me just share with you all people that last year I got an opportunity to work with the institute very closely to design the new curriculum. And now we can proudly say that we are coming out with an international curriculum, which is going to be country specific. Just imagine it's going to be country specific. You need not read the Indian laws and regulations. You will be reading your country specific. Or if you want to do CA course in any other part of the world, you can actually go and do that course there itself. So what I'm trying to tell you is, again, whether you do A, B, C, D, whichever course you like, accounting profession and commerce profession. Commerce is always going to be live. Accounting is always going to be live till the time this universe has money. Chartered accountants are always going to be there. As simple as that. I hope you all agree to it. Finally, only one point: be motivated by what most people fear. So don't have fear that you can't do CA. If people are not doing CA in such a huge population of 130 crore population of the country, only 400,000 chartered accountants, we could make it, right? So you all, I pray that you, Madam Vandana is going to take you through the entire curriculum which we are designing. And our focus is on the skilling part, and our focus is on the international experience which is there. So I wish you a great learning experience. I hope I have covered everything within my time, and hope I could cover what was expected from me to all you people. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for inspiring the audience with your encouraging words. Today,
Thank you.
we have with us CA Vandana D. Nagpal, Academic Director, ICAI, New Delhi. CA Vandana D. Nagpal is a fellow chartered accountant. She is also a member of CPA Australia. She is associated with the Institute for the past 27 years and headed the Disciplinary Directorate as Director, Discipline. Presently, she is heading the Board of Studies. She has actively participated in the review of education and training schemes of the Chartered Accountancy course. She is responsible for bringing out the educational material and imparting of education to around 8 lakh students pursuing Chartered Accountancy course. She is holding the post of the President of Economic Society, Miranda House, New Delhi. She has written articles on various issues relating to economic growth, micro and macroeconomic problems faced by the country, etc. She has written articles in CA journals too. To enlighten the CA aspirants and to provide a detailed picture about the features of CA proposed scheme of education and training, I invite CA Vandana D. Nagpal, Academic Director, ICAI, New Delhi. Ma'am, please.
Good evening, and thanks a lot for inviting me for speaking to all the students and the parents. And I thank the Muscat chapter and the principal, Dr. Matthew, CA Sanjeev, Suchitra, and I also thank my Vice Chairman, CA Dayaniva Sharma. He has always been the guiding factor for us. And today also he's there, and he has set the tone very right today. And with his keynote address he's talked about the commerce and accountancy and how it is one language all across the world. I think that's very true what he has said. And I think he has motivated you all. If you have not joined CA course as of now, you need to do it now, and you don't wait for any more time. So that's something is the kind of coveted profession it is. And it's the need of the hour. Because you know very well, the way the global economy is growing, the way the world is changing, the demand for chartered accountant, not only in India, but all across the world is increasing. The best of the positions in India, in the industry, and wherever we may say it's in the investment sector or any other sector or in the government sector also, and all across the world, the best of the positions are held by the chartered accountants, and that too from India. And our many of our chartered accountants, you know, the faces which you are seeing, they're there in Muscat and all over in UAE. And they're again holding over there the most, say, responsible positions. So the students who have already passed, like what we have come to know, the students have passed from Oman and they have passed the CA course. So our congratulations to all of you that you have joined this profession now and you are one amongst the members of the ICAI. So most welcome to the profession from the ICAI, and the students who are aspiring to be chartered accountants. Most welcome to you. And don't think that this is a profession which is very difficult. I'll tell you, it is for difficult people. It is for strong people who have strong will are the ones who are joining this profession, right? So I know the young generation of today is very determined, very strong, and they know what they aspire and what is their goal. For them, CA is not a difficult profession. It's something which is very much achievable. That is something is very important. And I also would like to, as Board of Studies ICI Director, on behalf of the ICI, I am trying to talk to you, and I'm going to talk to you about the proposed scheme of education and training. What are the changes which we are trying to bring in, which is going to make our course much more dynamic, much more vibrant, and something which we all are expecting. Like you know, in 2017, we had come up with a revised scheme. The scheme which we are working in today, what the students who have passed today, it's the scheme which was launched on 1st of July 2017. And it's in a period of 6 years, we are going to come up with the next scheme. Earlier, the scheme used to be brought, say, after a decade. But now, as on today's date, why the scheme has been brought out so very early? Why 3-4 years in advance? You must know the importance. What is the reason behind it? The reason is one thing, the way the technology is changing, the way it's having an importance on this profession. Secondly, because of the NEP 2020, the National Education Policy, which is going to make the things change, because it's putting the importance of ethics, moral values, technology, multidisciplinary approach are the key things, and to overcome rote learning, analytical skills, how the pedagogy of learning is going to change. That's all we are trying to cover in the proposed scheme, right? So I'll just take you through the key features of this proposed scheme, which will entice you that why not I join this course today itself. If I'm eligible, I should register now, right? So the students and my dear parents, this is one profession which every student aspires, because this is going to really set the tone right. Because if my economy is growing, what does it mean? My business is growing, means commerce is growing. The more the business is expanding, the role of chartered accountants come in, whether in national arena or international arena. In all aspects, the role of chartered accountant is very important. They are not just keeping the books of accounts. They are not just auditing. They are not just doing the accounting. They are not just doing consultancy on different areas. They are the business providers, solution providers. They are the ones who are not only the CFOs, but they are the CEOs. They know how to run the business. They know what are the strategic decisions. A chartered accountant knows what best decision is to be taken by the business, and none other than chartered accountants. Nobody can advise the business as to really how to run it, what to do, how to move ahead, how to overcome the obstacles in the business. They are going to guide. So students, it's such a course which is going to rather make you think every day. You need to think, analyze what all is happening and what is going to be the solution. So that is what the proposed scheme is going to do now, right? So I'm going to talk about the proposed scheme. The proposed scheme, like what we have brought, is going to have, like currently we are having 3 levels: foundation level, then the intermediate level, and then the final level, right? So now also we are having these 3 levels, but one more layer has been added. That is the self-paced online modules. That is something is going to bring the change in the manner of learning. how the students can learn, it's going to make a difference, right? I'll come step by step. At the foundation level, we are having 4 papers like currently we are having of 100 marks each. 2 papers are going to be subjective and 2 papers are going to be objective type, right? The passing percentage is going to be the same. It's going to be 50% overall and 40% in each subject. And you must know that what all the scheme is, the manner of teaching, learning, the way the students are going to be assessed, we are going by the international education standards. You must know there are 6 standards which are relevant for education. The entry level. The way it is being discussed, that entry level should not be very easy, right? So all those students who are having the aptitude for this particular profession, they must join this profession. That is why we have made it mix of subjective as well as objective type, right? So the students, earlier we were having a validity of 3 years registration for foundation level. Now the validity for foundation is going to be 4 eligible attempts, right? Suppose a student has joined after passing class 10th. So his eligible attempt will start after he has given the 12th exam and is eligible for the first exam of foundation. So from that time, the 4 eligible attempts will be there, right? So the student who's not able to pass after the 4 attempts, so obviously this student, there's not going to be any revalidation for foundation after 4 attempts. What the student is going to do, if he's not able to come through the foundation route, he can directly come through the direct entry route. Means the students who have done their graduation or their post-graduation in commerce with 55% marks, they're eligible to come through direct entry route. They don't have to come via foundation route. And the students who are from other streams, they need to get 60% for becoming eligible for direct entry, right? So that is where there is a slight difference, right? Now I come to the intermediate level. That's again a very, very crucial point. As of now, we are having 4 papers each in 2 groups. So in all, we are having 8 papers, right? Now what we have done in the proposed scheme is, now the groups will be 2, but they'll be having 3 papers each. So instead of 8 papers, it's going to be 3 papers each, right? What we have done is, accounts was there at 2 levels, paper 1 and paper 5. We have merged the accounting paper to 1. That's now advanced accounting. All the accounting standards we are going to cover over there. Few of the topics we have shifted from intermediate to the foundation level, right? And certain topics which are like, on insurance, on industry specific, we have removed those topics. So we are going to cover all the standards which is going to set the tone right, right, students? So accountancy is going to be merged in 1. Then what we have also done is, we have shifted economics for finance, which was earlier there as paper 8B. We have shifted that economics for finance to the foundation level, right? So earlier the foundation level, we were having 60 marks economics paper. Now we are going to have 100 marks economics paper. So business economics will be for 100 marks. So economics for finance at the intermediate level is not going to be there, right? And then what we have done is enterprise information system. We have removed from here and we have taken it to the final level, which I'll be discussing very shortly with you. So we are going to have 2 groups with 3 papers each. the probability of passing 3 papers instead of 4 papers is obviously going to be higher. We have thought of that students can do this thing in a very sacrosanct manner, and 8-month study period will be required. That will be same for students coming through foundation route and students coming from the direct entry route. So what is going to happen? All the students have to complete the 8-month study period, and then they are eligible to appear for the intermediate. Another difference which has come now is, after the students have passed both the groups of intermediate, they are eligible to start the practical training, right? Earlier, in the current scheme now, student after passing one of the groups was able to start the practical training after they have done the orientation course and the information technology course. Now, the student who has passed both the groups of 2 group intermediate is eligible to start the practical training after doing orientation course and information technology course. Why this difference has been brought in? That the moment student is able to complete the intermediate examinations, they'll be doing the 2 years uninterrupted training. Instead of 3 years, now the training is going to be 2 years, right? And it will be free from all the examinations. Earlier, a student who was passing one group was commencing the practical training, and after 3 months was going in for the balance of the group. He's not able to pass. Again, he used to take leave. Again, he used to go in for the balance training. So now we have made it uninterrupted. Uninterrupted training is there so that student can concentrate fully on his practical training without any hassle of sitting for the exam. And earlier, what was happening? The student, after the completion of 2.5 years of training, was eligible to sit for the final exam. Now, the final exam, no balance group of intermediate will be there during the 2 years of practical training. The final exam a student is able to do after completion of 2 years of training, plus 6 months thereafter, a student is able to sit for the final exam, right? So the student can concentrate fully on the practical training. He's going through all the phases, starting from the first phase of auditing till the last stage, till the finalization of the accounts, till the balance sheets are signed, because they will know what is the nitty-gritties of each phase of auditing and the relevance of all other areas. So that is how we have kept it like this. So what is really going to make a difference is, now, what another change is, currently, suppose a student has got an exemption in one of the papers by scoring 60% marks. So what is going to happen? He is eligible to avail of this benefit for 3 consecutive attempts. But now what we have done is, we have given an option to the students. Suppose out of 3 papers, a student has got exemption in one of the papers, and he is not able to clear the group in the next 3 consecutive attempts. So what is going to happen is, a student is given an option that he can opt for, say, permanent exemption is given to the student. He's not required to attempt this paper after the 3rd attempt. What he's going to do is, he'll get that advantage of 50% in that particular paper, and in the balance 2 papers, he has to score 50% each in the remaining papers. So a student, instead of 3, now can prepare for the 2 papers, but they have to get 50% each. Like in now times, a student has to get 40% in each paper, aggregate has to be 50. Now it is going to be 50% in each paper when a student is availing of the permanent this exemption, right? But they are having this option. If they do not want to opt for this, they can go in for all the papers, and then the 40 and 50% is going to continue. Another thing which I'm going to talk to you about is these self-paced online modules, which I talked to you. And what is going to happen is the final group, as of now, currently we are having 2 groups of 4 papers each. Now, it's again going to have 3 papers each of 2 groups. So what is going to happen is 4 at the foundation level, 6 at the intermediate level, 6 at the final level. The remaining 4 papers are going to be done through self-paced online modules, right? The nomenclature suggests that the student can study and appear at their own pace, right? So what is going to happen? The corporate and economic laws and strategic cost and performance management from the final level has been shifted to self-paced online modules, that is set A and B, which are mandatory modules. They'll be for 100 marks each. Then set C is going to be electives. It's going to have 10 options. A student can opt for one of the options. Then comes the set D. Set D is based on the multidisciplinary approach, which is based on the NEP 2020 recommendations. So what we have done, we have brought in 4 papers in set D, and a student has the option to choose one amongst the 4. And I would just highlight what are the 4 those subjects are. These subjects will be Constitution of India and Art of Advocacy. Second paper is going to be Philosophy and Psychology. Third paper is going to be Entrepreneurship and Startup. And 4th is going to be Digital Ecosystem, Digital Control and Ecosystem. So we have taken care of the multidisciplinary approach so that a student who is going to become a chartered accountant is aware about all these areas. You know the importance of philosophy and psychology. A chartered accountant must know the psychology of his client, of the management, of the stakeholders. This psychology is going to really teach him as to how to use this psychology in taking important business decisions. How the Constitution of India is going to be helpful in policy decisions. How art of advocacy, what is the role of art of advocacy? Means I'm able to advocate my particular case. How effectively I'm able to pose myself, to communicate myself. And another thing is about the startup, entrepreneurship. You know, the chartered accountants are into business. They are starting their own startups. They are going to be the CEOs. So this is something is again a stepping stone. And we are also emphasizing on the technology, that is digital control and ecosystem. So that is again something as to how to have checks and balances. Like what Mr. Dayanivas had talked, that the engineers will make the programs, but who's going to give the processes, how the controls need to be there, that is going to be done by the chartered accountant. So that's why this particular subject has been also brought in. So set C and D are going to be optional. Set C, out of 10, 1 has to be opted for. Set D, 1 out of the 10 has to be opted for. And after doing the online learning, here what we are going to do is we are going to provide the lectures from the experts, which a student has to go through. And once they have done that specified hours, they are eligible to appear for the exam at their own pace. So they don't have to wait for after 2 years. The moment, suppose in 1 month, they are through with the preparation, they can go and sit for the exam on one Sunday. They'll book their seats. They're not able to pass, can go in for another next week. So it's learning at their own pace, appearing for the exam at their own pace. That is going to let them know how really they can assess themselves. So that is what this change we have brought in. It's going to be all online exam. Online based exam will be there. It is going to be case scenario based, where the MCQs will be asked and student has to opt for the one appropriate answer. And a student has to get 50% each in each of the papers in set A, B, C, D individually. And these marks are not going to be added in the final examination, but they are the eligibility criteria for appearing in the final examination. Right? Then comes the final exam. We are having again 6 papers. One very key thing which we have brought is ethics and technology. The importance of these 2 papers. What we have done in all our core papers at the final level, we have brought in ethics as well as technology. Like in my financial reporting, if a student is doing the learning all the Ind AS, now he is into reporting. Different policies which are adopted, how the Ind AS have been adopted, how the policies have been taken care of by the management. What is the decision a chartered accountant has to take? How he has to do the reporting? From the ethics angle, we are introducing so that a student, while learning financial reporting, knows the importance of ethics in the financial, right? So, and technology also. How a student, while learning the financial reporting, knows how really to use the various software tools, while like all ERPs, Excels, they should know, and they should know how the accounting, what is the role of going to be this particular aspect in the financial reporting paper. Similarly, in audit paper, again, ethics and technology is going to be there. We are introducing a new chapter also in, auditing. We have brought in digital audit. How digitally doing the audit and how doing the audit digitally. So both way it is going to be there, and it is going to be a change, because everything is done through, audit is done through mostly now digitally only. So students will be able to understand and appreciate, right? And another thing, technology again is inbuilt. Then in our taxation papers, in our law papers, ethics and technology is going to be inbuilt. So though ethics is going to be covered, professional ethics is going to be covered in auditing paper, but the importance of ethics and technology in each paper is going to be talked about. That's going to make a difference, so that the students, once they pass the CA course, they know the importance of ethics, right? Because they are the ones who have to ethically run the show. If they are into business, how ethically they will run the business. If they are reporting, how ethically they need to report. That's the importance, because that is going to make a difference to our profession. And my dear students and parents, one more important thing is, that is about one new paper we have brought in, that is integrated business solutions. That is a multidisciplinary paper, which was earlier in our current scheme was an optional paper. Now, looking into the importance of this paper, the way world is, the way the chartered accountants have to take decisions now, they should know the importance of all these subjects, because that will help them in taking strategic decisions. So it is going to be a compulsory open book exam paper, which is going to be case study based. So students, your analytical skills, your synthesis skills are going to be tested in this paper, and you are able to, because then there is not going to be one single answer. Because case studies are such things which is going to open up your minds to analyze the situation. What are the actually real life case studies are going to be there, which are going to make you think as to how, if I am a chartered accountant, I am there in this role, what decision am I going to take? That is what you have to see it from that perspective. So the importance of chartered accountants is going to be all the more important now, right? This is going to make a difference in the course. So that is something you must know. And plus, a student has to pass the self-paced modules, has to undergo 2 years of training, has to undergo advanced IT and management communication skills. But all these say trainings like advanced IT, management communication skills, all these things a student has to do after completion of 2 years of training, so that a student is not required to take any leave during those 2 years period. They'll get 6 months henceforth with when they'll be able to sit for their final exam. So students, you will have a comfortable journey. You are able to apply your mind. You can think, you can make use of the practical training, which is going to be assessed in your final examination, right? So that is something you must look forward to. And our soft skill courses and information technology courses, we are again going to bring in a lot of changes. We are going to bring in important aspects of technology, so that what we are now trying to talk is about artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain technology, and many more such type of things, right? Power BI. So all these things will be covered in the advanced IT now. So it is going to be more relevant for you. So you must look forward to be a chartered accountant who has undergone this particular course, because you are the ones who are going to be the prospective chartered accountants. So we have made this scheme in such a way that the demand of chartered accountants, the way you know, the demand is increasing. One more statistics I would like to share. Suppose this time, my 10,000 students have passed their CA final, and the industries which have come for the campus interview, they have the opportunities for around 12,000. Can you imagine, out of 12,000 the opportunities, students who have selected the particular jobs are only 8,000. So you can understand the demand is much more than the supply. Now, a young member has all the prospects to opt for which particular area he wants to go in, which area of industry he wants to go in for. That is all the opportunity for him, and plus the certificate of practice. This is something which you are going to learn, because you will be an entrepreneur, because the ones who are doing their practice are entrepreneurs. They are running the show. So you can opt for being a member who's into practice, who's advising the clients, who's doing the audits, who's doing the international taxation, transfer pricing, indirect tax, law, consultancy, and many more areas are there, which a prospective chartered accountant can look forward to. And another important thing, which Mr. Dyanivas had also talked about, is the international curriculum. Our international curriculum also is now there. So we can now, a student from a specific country can opt for the CA profession, but is not required to study the Indian laws, Indian taxation. They'll be able to study the law of the country from where they are. They can study the taxation of the country from where they are. The curriculum is going to be designed for them in such a way that they are useful for their country, right? So that is what is the perspective of the ICAI. The countries which do not have the professional accountancy bodies, we are going to be over there, help them, so that the students from there do this course and are useful for their country. That is something is the perspective of the ICAI. And another very important thing is to overcome the problems which the students who are doing this CA course from outside, the practical training. Because if our CA members are not over there in that country, so they'll be having an option that they can undergo the training under a member who is registered with the IFEC. He may be from a different country, a member of a different country, but registered with IFAC. So they'll be able to undergo the training under that member, plus the IT courses, the orientation courses, management communication skills. They don't have to come physically over here. Now all these courses will be provided online to them. So it's going to be very lucrative and very, very, it's something which is going to be very helpful for those who are not able to come to India, or maybe where our centers are not there. Like our IT centers are not there, our management communication skills are not being taught. So now they'll be able to do it online. So all these things have been brought in the international curriculum, and the chartered accountants, either from India or from outside India, are going to be global chartered accountants. They are going to be globally relevant. So that is the perspective of the ICI. And with this, I thank you all for listening to me so patiently. I hope I haven't gone beyond my time, and I leave it to the students and their parents and any of the stakeholders to ask any questions from. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vandana ma'am, for the informative session. Our students are really motivated by your words. We are sure that a number of students from Indian schools across the Sultanate of Oman will be surely following your steps.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions? If anybody is having the questions, I'll be able to answer them.
Yes, ma'am, we do have a few questions.
Okay.
The first question I would like to ask is on behalf of Huda Hamid of Class 12, Indian School Mulladda. She asks, it is seen that students are confused whether to go for CA or ACCA. We would like to get some clarification regarding this matter, ma'am.
Right. See, I'll say there's nothing like CA, right? I've apprised you. It's the most sought after profession. I think let's not compare CA with ACCA, right? So I must say that CA is a unique profession, and the opportunities once you do the CA is going to be much more wider. The kind of depth of knowledge you are going to gain after doing the CA course is going to be tremendous. Don't have any doubt in your mind.
Question posed by Afwa, Class 12 Commerce student, Indian School Mulladda. A student completes only articleship, but not CA final examination. Will he be eligible to get a job?
Dear student, like what you are trying to say is, if you have not passed the final, right? You have not done the final, but you have done the intermediate. At least you would have done one of the groups of the intermediate. So as of now, you get a certificate of ATC, Accounting Technician Certificate is given. But now in the proposed key, if you have done both the groups of intermediate and have done the intermediate, but are not able to do your final, you will be given a certificate of Business Accounting Associate. So this is the state, this is something which is going to make you, you will be able to get jobs in the industry. You can look after the accounting side, you can look after the tax compliances, the compliances relating to law also. So, and you can be a very good accountant, right? Because you have done the things halfway. So you are aware about the process. You will be able to get very good jobs.
Ma'am, we are moving on to the next question posed by Ridhawan Mustafa of Class 12, Indian School, Mulladagh. He wants to know, can a student manage both CA degree and BCom together?
Students, I must tell you that till the time you are not doing your articleship, right? Because your college and the articleship training timings should not clash, right? Now with the new scheme, proposed scheme, you have to complete both the groups of intermediate, and then only you are eligible to do the practical training. So I think by the time you will come into the practical training side, your graduation will be almost done. So you can start simultaneously, but when the articleship period comes, you will have to wait for sometimes or 6 months or so. Otherwise, you should be able to do it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The question answer session has cleared many doubts of the viewers. Thank you, ma'am, for this productive session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Success means having the courage, the determination, and the will to become the person you believe you were meant to be. Today, amidst us, we have those students who had strong belief in themselves, the recipients of the ICAI Academic Merit Award for Indian School Commerce toppers. They are honored with mementos, certificates, and cash prizes. The award winners are as follows. The first position is claimed by two students, Angel Maria Tarson of Indian School Dasait and Sujanya Sriram of Indian School Al Gubra with a score of 97.8%. The second position is also claimed by two students, Lakshmi Prayanjani Krishnan of Indian School Alsip and Ojas Golyan of Indian School Soha, scoring 97.6%. The third position is claimed by Rohan Tom Saji of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir with a score of 97.4%. May I invite the audience to the video presentation. Congratulations, dear award winners. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So keep dreaming. No road is long when dreams are big and sky is the limit. Nothing else feels better when your hard work pays you well. On this occasion, we felicitate Ms. Gayatri Venkat Narayanan, who has cleared CA with flying colors. Ms. Gayatri is an alumna of Indian School Gubra. We appreciate her diligence and consistent dedication. We have no words to congratulate her on becoming a chartered accountant because the amount of time and hard work she has put in is beyond imagination. Due to a prior commitment, Ms. Gayatri is unable to join us today. We wish her the best in all her future endeavors. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. May I invite Mr. Praveen Kumar, Principal of Indian School Mulladagh, a treasure house of positivity and enthusiasm, to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Hardi, Member of Board of Directors of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Head of Energy and Mining Committee. Dr. Shivkumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Mr. Sajeev Surendran, Chairman, ICAI Muscat Chapter. Vice Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, Mr. Samir PTK, and the DIC of our school, Indian School Mulada. Ms. Ashwini Savrikar, Finance Director, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, and the DIC of ISML. Education Advisor and Senior Principal, Mr. MP Vinoba. Mr. A. Anil Kumar, President of School Management Committee, and other esteemed SMC members. Keynote speakers, C.A. Dayanivas Sharmaji and Ms. Vandana Nagpal from ICAI Board of Studies, New Delhi. Commerce toppers, CAs, guests, and parents. Good evening to everybody. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the ruler of Sultanate of Oman, His Majesty Sultan Haidar bin Tariq, for the generosity and kindness he has shown to all of us. I would like to warmly remember and pay respect to the former ruler and founding father of Sultanate of Oman, late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said, under whose benign rule the Indian community was welcomed to Oman and granted permission to open Indian schools for the welfare of the expats living in Oman. It has already been shared to you that ICAI Muscat chapter felicitates class 12th CBSE commerce toppers every year from all Indian schools in Oman since 2008. And I must agree that it is a very big initiative. I extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to the Muscat chapter of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for felicitating CBSE class 12 commerce toppers of Oman. Setting the right tone and temperament, Dr. Shivkumar Manikam, the chairman of Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman, shared the quote of Ratan Tata ji. It says, I need MBAs for run business, but I need CAs to teach them how to run the business. So with this particular tone, we can understand that we are going to learn about CAs, how they go for the education and how they are created. We'll be getting a lot of stuff on that. But in a very simple way, I'm an English teacher. I'll just quote a very simple thing. There is a say, money makes the mayor go. The whole world runs with money, and commerce teaches all of us how to increase the potential of money and make the best use of it. All the progress and prosperity of a country is directly related to the financial status of that country. And to achieve that, CAs play a very important and crucial role, as it was shared by CA Dayanivas ji. He said that being a student of scoring 52% of marks in +2 and then reaching to the highest position like vice chairman of ICAI, if he is able to achieve it, everything is possible in this world. It is not that if a student does not score good marks, he still has a very good career if he has the determination to do and achieve that. We also learned from Ma'am Vandana. She said about the role of CAs as they are business solution providers. And in addition to that, a widely, very exclusively and exhaustively, she spoke about how to get into the CA profession or their academics and the studies at various levels. The full nitty-gritties were shared by ma'am, and I really appreciate the efforts that ma'am has taken to make the students understand that in what levels they can be the CAs. In addition to that, she said that there is a scarcity of the CAs in the world. As Mr. Dayanivas said, that CAs, they are acceptable product across the world. And it is the skills that matters, not the degrees. This is what CA Dyanivasji spoke about. So now I think majority of the students and the parents, they might have understood how to go about into the CA profession. And believe me, it is full of, what you call knowledge based. And of course, you will get a lot of respect and expectation, or sorry, acceptability in the society. Switching over to the role of a CA towards the society, Ms. Ashwini Savrikar, she rightly said in her address that about the importance of trust and the values of a CA is to add to society and nation building. So his contribution to society at the same time is also very much important. Generally, there is a temperament in the elite, the students, those who go for science and all that, as Mr. Dyanivasji said, that the students go for the first profession as into science and all that. I must, I think Vandana ma'am will agree with me when I say that a student who passes out from SRCC, what will be the package that he would be getting? It's a big thing. Getting an admission into SRCC, Shriram College of Commerce, it is not that easy. But when a student passes out from there, he's a big man. So at the same time, I personally believe that we have to maintain a natural capital accounting, which means how to balance ecological protection and economic growth at the same time. As there is a tradition in India that the property in a family, it's a simple tradition in India, that the property in a family does not belong to the son or the daughter, but it belongs to the grandchildren. In the same way, I believe that we have to preserve the natural resources for the future generation and make a proper balance between growth and the natural resources that we have. In the end, on behalf of the ICAI Muscat chapter and Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, I feel honored to propose word of thanks to the chief guest, Dr. Abdullah Masood Al-Hadi, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Mr. Sajeev Surendran, and the keynote speakers, CA Dyanivas Sharma ji and Madam Vandana Nagpal, Mr. Samir PTK, and Ms. Ashwini Savrikar, who are the board of directors, and of course, the DICs of Indian School Muladda. In addition to that, I also extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to all the dignitaries, guests, and students and parents who have been the part of this wonderful session. And of course, it was very much, highly informative. We got so many pieces of information by Vandana ma'am. I also extend my sincere thanks to the team Indian School Muladda. Of course, they have done a tremendous job for organizing this event, and also on behalf of the President, School Management Committee, Mr. A.N.L. Kumar, and other SMC members, and of course, the school family and fraternity. I extend my sincere thanks to the Board of Directors who gave us this opportunity to host today's events. Thanks to all of you. May God bless all of us. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a great, opportunity to have the interaction with you, and of course, to listen to you. The way you have spoken, it was really, praiseworthy. And I was able to see a very good teacher in you, the way you expressed everything. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are so blessed.
Thank you. Thank you.
The scope of CA is much more extensive, and one can expand into it. The role of chartered accountant is rewarding, challenging, and dynamic. As Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has said, chartered accountants are partners in the nation building. Dear students, CA also means a charismatic amalgamation of great experiences of life. So challenge it, achieve it, and loop it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this function. I would like to thank everyone present for joining us and making this event a grand success. This is Ambli Raju from Indian School Muladha signing off. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. You have done a wonderful
Thank you,
work,
sir.
and we are so happy with you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night to everyone. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Good night.